In this video, we're going to be going over all three, yes, I said three different maps inside of Desert World, as well as all 5 new modifiers that come with Desert World. We're also going to give you tips and tricks in order to be able to place top 5 in each of your matches. The first map inside of Desert World is going to be Dusty Badlands. It's going to have 32 chests, 16 boxes, 26 trees, 60 carrots, and 4 tools. This is going to be very important to understand, especially if you were somebody who likes to play with Greg early or Mavis, to be able to get your squad quick, get them into gear, get them to the middle, and easily be able to take over the map. The next map is going to be Troublesome Go. It's going to have 30 chests, 16 boxes, 26 trees, 68 carrots, or 4 tools. Now, these tools could be tanks, they could be beehives, they could be a lot of different things that you are going to go through and unlock inside of the match. You're going to want to know where they are. You're going to want to know how fast to get to it. You're going to want to know where the trees are, the carrots, and everything. So make sure you take a mental note of this map so that you're able to easily take care of it inside of the match. In Desert World number 3 is going to be called the Sand Pit. 32 chests, 16 boxes, 28 trees, 64 carrots, and 4 tools. This is actually a pretty huge map, and it's got a lot going on. You definitely want to make sure you know where the tools are, and that's kind of the main thing of these games, especially when I play Squad Busters. Sometimes I don't know where the tools are. I don't know where my beehives are for my bee to be able to get them efficiently, and it changes up on me, and I'm so confused. Hopefully now that you understand that these maps and you take a good look at them, you will know where they are in your next matches. The information provided for the worlds is from Alpi. I'll be linking a link to his website where I got all of this information in the description. The 6 new characters coming inside of Desert World are Shelly, Nita, Battle Healer, Max, Bo, and B. You have Shelly, who's going to be able to super and knock back enemies and stun them. You're going to have Nita, who's going to be able to summon bears and be a tank, as well as a little bit of a DPS for your squad. Battle Healer is going to be massively important, giving everybody 400 to 600 HP of your squad, depending on her evolution. You're going to have Max, who's going to make your entire army super fast. You're going to be able to zoom around the map, especially when you get Max, and do a ton of damage. You're finally going to unlock Bo to be able to clear out these monsters. He does a ton of damage, and when he's supered up, don't sleep on the bombs that he drops. And the last character that you're going to be able to get is B. She's going to be able to get the beehives. You're going to do a ton of damage with B, and I think B is one of the best characters inside of Squad Busters, which we ranked in our tier list video. Next up, we are going to be going over the 5 new modifiers inside of Desert World. The first modifier is going to be called Epic Overload. Every chest gives an epic choice. This modifier is very, very important, especially if you have a lot of epic characters. Epic characters are pretty hard to get, especially if you're going to be playing free to play. So I do recommend that you go after the ones that you already have classic and upgraded, because they will be a little bit stronger than the baby versions. I also recommend that you try to fuse your classics up. You try to get a good army. Witches are very, very strong. You'll probably have Archer Queen as well. Link your Supercell ID if you have not, and then you'll easily be able to push in this game mode. Epics are very plentiful here, so you're going to want to be using them almost every single time they are in a chest, especially if you are a newer player or if you are a free-to-play player. You're really only going to have some Archer Queens. You might have the Barbarian King, and you're going to have your Archer Queen, so you do want to prioritize them when they do drop. Next up is going to be Whack-A-Mole. We got some good tips for this game modifier. The ground is rumbling with mole robots. Mainly, you're going to want some bows, some colts, things that absolutely take care of moles super quick, so you can easily get the gems from these moles. You don't even need to fight necessarily in this game mode if you farm super fast. If you get a fused up bow and you're able to get a colt and you're able to do a lot of damage early, you're able to clear out these moles, be able to get the gems, be able to get the gold, and then move on. Next up, we have Royal Hunt. Royal Ghosts are haunting the map. This game modifier is really, really interesting, and it's really crazy. There is everything that comes at you in this modifier, especially with ghosts. You want to make sure you have AoE for when the ghosts are so many in the late game. You want to make sure you clear them out, shut them down, and then be able to have your own ghosts towards the late game. There'll be a ton of ghosts in the late game. Don't really go around chasing ghosts in the early game. It's going to slow you down and everything like that. You want to focus on getting some cults, getting some bows, getting, some Pams, getting units that are able to easily close it down. I can't believe I just said Pam because I don't even think you get Pam in Desert World, but you want to get your wizards as well here. Anything that's going to do splash damage to the ghost, especially in the late game, so that you can use a huge army of ghosts and then go after your opponent with them. Next up is going to be Loot Surge. Here, don't focus on chickens, don't focus on Gregs, don't focus on Mavises, don't focus on these supplier units. You're going to have so many boots. If boots do fall, use the turbo. Go after all of the boots. Just run around. Don't even collect anything else. Get to like 10 turbos. When the gems come, use that to get all the gems. Use it to get all of those gold. Prioritize the Loot Surge when it flows. This is what you're going to want to do inside of Loot Surge so that you are easily able to get all the gold, all the gems, and then be able to transition that into a victory in the late game. Last modifier inside of Desert World is going to be called Doppelgangers. This is a very interesting game mode. Chester transforming the entire squad into a single unit. So what you're going to want to focus on here is get some goblins early, get some chickens early to give you some nice amounts of gold, some nice amount of boots. Then you want to continue to go around. You want to get some bows to clear out things early. Then you want to get some cults to do some damage as well. You then want to focus on, in the late game, hopefully getting an epic character, whether that be a witch, whether that be a barbarian kings. Any of these epic characters, even archer queens, do a ton of damage when all of your characters are either an archer queen, a witch, a barbarian king. Your army is going to be very, very strong, and you are going to easily be able to fight and control the middle towards the end game. Sometimes here, if it's going for that last chest, it might not be advisable if you already have an archer queen or a witch, unless it's going to be another fused unit and you're behind and you need to really come back. I don't recommend you getting that last chest of the match if you have a super strong army already and you have, let's just say, a witch, a barbarian king, or an archer queen, three of, in my opinion, the best units, or even maxes, but that comes later, inside of Squad Busters. You'll easily be able to clear out everybody in the middle, take the fights versus people who have bad doppelgangers. If they're having chickens, if they're having goblins at the end, Gregs, if they get, dynamites or wizards or anything that's weak, you can go after those squads and really take care of them and control the middle of the match. You do not, and I cannot stress this enough, do not want to be going into the middle in doppelgangers with something like bows or low HP units, bows, colts, anything like that in the middle, in the late game. You are going to get wiped so fast. They don't have a lot of HP, and if you don't have enough turbo, you're going to have your entire army cleared out in 2 seconds. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one for Royal World.